Sunny skies overhead as we start another week in the USL Championship from Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford Athletic plays host to the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Tonight's match is presented by Trinity Health of New England. With the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. Our Ornitos and Jim Beam standings. Hartford Athletic, they have a lot of work to do to get back in that playoff picture, sitting on just 12 points, in opposite of what Colorado Springs is at.
Yeah, Colorado Springs have had a fantastic season, absolutely brilliant for Hartford. I'm not even sure it's about getting to the playoffs. That would be a fantastic achievement if they could do it. It's more about trying to improve week in and week out. Just try and get some wins under the belt, especially at home.
Had a chance here tonight, even after the loss against San Antonio on Friday, for the Switchbacks to jump back over San Antonio. They'd be level on games played before their game tonight, so we'll see how it all transpires at the top of the West. But looking at some players to watch, we'll start with Hartford and usually their playmaker, Danny Barrera.
Yeah, you can see all-time club leader in goals and assists and joint level second all-time USL. But this season, nothing. No goals, no assists from such a talent. He's got to come good if this team are going to come good.
And on the other side for Colorado Springs, a bit of a switch in the 11, which means Carlton Belmar makes his first start for the Switchbacks.
Somebody has something to prove. No goals in his 10 matches. In fairness to him, all 10 were as sub, and in some cases only a few minutes on the pitch. But his previous club, Sacramento Republic, 41 appearances, just 2 goals. If he's to be a serious player in Colorado Springs Switchbacks, he needs to score, and this is the perfect game for him to do it.
So we'll see if he can get on track tonight for the Switchbacks. Some coaching news to also tell you about for Hartford Athletic. We'll get you that along with lineups and first kick coming up on a sunny night from Hartford, Connecticut.
There's comfort in routine. And discomfort can be a disruption. But Trinity Health of New England is here to help with an experienced urology team offering advanced diagnostics and treatment expertise throughout our hospitals and physician offices. Because if something is keeping you from living well, you deserve better and the very best care to make it happen. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank our partners: Connecticut Army National Guard, Midline Chiropractic, Walgreens, and Connecticut. Well, some coaching news to tell you about. Ray Reid has been named the interim coach. That was on Saturday after head coach Harry Watling resigned due to family matters in England. His assistant coach Jake Davis also resigned too. So Ray Reid will be the interim head coach for this Hartford Athletic side. in the near future, and he puts out this 11 as his first 11.
Just the one change. Prince Sadie comes in because Logan Gadula is injured and not available. So it's a 3-4-3 with, I think, Joel Johnson and Sadie with a lot of work to do defensively down the flanks.
And these lineups presented by Liberty Bank. On the other side, quite a few changes for Brendan Burke.
Quite a few. 7 changes from the team that lost 1-0 at home to San Antonio. Christian Herrera's in goals. In comes Ockford, Adewole, Foster, Ryan Belmar, and Echeverria.
So we'll see what this 11 can get done on the road tonight. It's fixture congestion for Colorado Springs. 7 games in 25 days, 5 in 17. Plenty for that man right there, Brendan Burke, to consider coming all the way out east before they have a big weekend against Sacramento and San Diego upcoming. But the matter is at hand here tonight. There is our referee, J.C. Griggs. It is the second time these two franchises meet up, and the second time in 2 years. As we just wait for the opening whistle, final checks. There it is, and away we go. A beautiful night here in Hartford, Connecticut, and Trinity Health Stadium. The first of 2 across the USL Championship on this Tuesday night, ahead of holiday weekend, of course, in the United States. Well, last time out for Hartford Athletic, a 2-0 loss right here against Lou City. And as Ray Reid said, he thought his team played well for about 60 minutes or so, but it was the final half hour that really did them in against Lou City.
It was, and he said, no, we made the chances, we didn't take them, and that's what it's all about. We need to finish off these chances. If they can, then who knows, maybe you can turn things around.
And already it's Hartford coming forward. And they will have the game's first corner kick. Gives us a chance to look at the keys to the game presented by Hoffman Auto Group.
Yep, for Hartford, get Barrera on the ball. We know how fantastic he is in chance creation. And it's new energy. It's a new coach. It's new possibilities. So a positive approach there from Hartford as far as switchbacks are concerned. They're going to have to match that intensity that Hartford are going to come with today. And what a front 3 they have, or certainly front 2 with Barry and Galina. Get the ball to them as quickly as possible.
Mo could be coming off the bench. Barrera plays this to the top of the area. Johnson will put this in towards the back post. It's headed clear. McGlynn takes it on the volley. And this will bounce out of play. It'll be another goal kick here for Christian Herrera, who gets another start in place of Jeff Caldwell, who's on the bench tonight. Of course, he played for Hartford a year ago. Well, there's Ray Reid. He said about stepping in. He's excited about this opportunity. He says there's a great potential to get this right. He did say, though, the last few days are tough. Change is always tough, especially when it comes with somebody at the top. It looks like a foul will be blown and a free kick to Colorado Springs. Heavy takedown by Tom Brewitt on this near side.
Interesting what the coach said as we watched Tom Brewitt just try and block that ball. The two of them collide together. He said he didn't want the job and still says he doesn't want the job. But I think if he does well, there'll be lots of people trying to twist his arm to stay in the game as a coach a little bit longer. His main aim is obviously to find the right person to follow Harry. Sad to see Harry go. I don't know how you feel about it, but We've had some good chats with him over the time. He came in with a lot of positive energy last season. It hasn't worked out for him, and that's a big blow. But throughout it all, he was creative with his ideas. And hopefully, and wish him well, and hopefully goes on to have success somewhere else in the world of football.
He was one of the youngest coaches to ever coach in this league. Colorado Springs will swing this in. Echeverria provided the service, and it was quickly cleared away. On the other side for this Colorado Springs side, coming off a tough loss at home against San Antonio. It was 1 versus 2 in the West. You don't always get that, especially at this point in the season, as Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. looked to be in on goal, but the flag is up for offside. They only lost that game against San Antonio 1-0. A Matt Mahoney own goal was the difference, but we were talking about before the game, they pretty much dominated in pretty much every other facet.
They did. Expected goals 1.32. They had San Antonio just 0.32, so they were 1 whole goal better than San Antonio. And as you said, the goal that was scored was an own goal. Now, difficult one for Jeff Caldwell. There was an attacker in front of him. He missed the ball, and it just ends up hitting Mahoney and going in the back of the net. So I don't think that Brendan Burke will lose too much sleep over it. As long as your XG is high, you know you're playing well, you know you're creating chances. And there's one thing about this side. You know you have players who can score between Haji Barry, Misha Galina, and Mo. Those are 3 players together who got 19 goals this season. I think there's 6 teams in the East who don't have 19 goals in total.
Yeah.
Just those 3 players have it. Unbelievable.
And this is a high-powered attack, and when these two teams faced off last year, it was a 4-2 win for the Switchbacks. That was a home win for them in Colorado Springs. And it was Haji Berry, Mishi Galina, of course, scoring the goals, but also Andre Lewis scored a brace in that game, who gets the start tonight against his former club for Hartford Athletics. So he's now wearing the blue and the green for Hartford.
And I bet Jeff Caldwell was hoping that he would get the nod for the Switchbacks, because he was formerly of Hartford. So it's just Andre Lewis who has ties with a former team in this match.
Trying to get something started in the attack. This ball bouncing in. Yannick Odell looked like was able to keep that ball in play.
He's done well, Yannick Odell, to get in and to keep his place. He's had a little bit of pressure from Jimmy Slayton, who's, I thought, had also played very, very well. And the 2 of them have done that well, those 2 goalkeepers, Slayton and Odell, that the man who was initially brought in to actually take over on a permanent basis, Austin Pack, has cancelled his contract and moved on.
As Joel Johnson comes in, his cross blocked down. And Trinity Health of New England is proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic, always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there. It's a second corner kick coming up. It's a Bank of America corner kick for Hartford Athletic. Like Danny Barrera wanted to trade out the soccer balls there. Barrera to serve this in. Good depth on it. Jadamo is up for it. This ball bouncing out to the near side where it's picked up by Boudadi. Boudadi serves it in. This one knotted clear. Hartford starting on the front foot here in these opening 6 minutes. Boudadi again. Driven ball across, trying to switch the point of attack. Calmly chested back for Christian Herrera.
Yeah, I think to your point, when you got a new coach, it's always a chance for players to either try and keep their places in the team by impressing the new coach, or if you're on the bench or have been on the bench, you can say to the new coach, hey, I should be playing. It brings an incredible amount of energy into a team, which is why overseas a lot of coaching changes take place on a regular basis for teams that are struggling. Because just human nature, a new boss comes in, you want to impress them. And right now, everybody playing for a starting place in this Hartford side and trying to impress Ray Reid.
And of course, Ray Reid, a Connecticut soccer legend who was actually hired to just be the technical director in May. But of course, long career, 24 years as UConn's head coach. Before that, at Southern Connecticut State. Did win a Division I title, a couple of D2 titles as well. Second ball picked up here. It's Luca Perpa. It's a good lineage in this part of the country for Reid. Sadie's cross bouncing out of play. But he's coached mostly in the college game, and now he comes into the pro game. He actually stepped in for Harry Watling when he picked up a red card, couldn't coach against Memphis, so I guess he got a little taste of the team a few weeks ago. I don't think he knew he'd really step in as the interim manager, but now here he is.
Yeah, and we were saying to him on the call, I bet he's delighted that his first match was against Memphis, who were at that time virtually top of the East, and this team, Colorado, had been top in the West, and that's his second full match. And he just smiled and said, you know what, they're all going to be tough. And we were asking him about the future. You know, can they make the playoffs? And he said, I'm going to give you the standard response. He said, but it's absolutely true. We're just focusing on this match. He said, we just can't even see beyond that. It literally is one game at a time, and we'll take it from there.
The schedule actually does work in their favor in the fact that even though there was a short turnaround for this game, they do have a week off before they go to Detroit next week. We'll give, I think, everybody a chance to kind of sit down and take a breath before they look at the rest of the season. But, of course, a very tough task tonight with the Switchbacks in town.
And yet, maybe it'll work for them, because Detroit have been struggling. They had a fantastic start to the season, but they might be running out of a little bit of a gas. And to be fair to them, they've come up a division from Nice, so it's going to be a tough season. And in this match tonight, 7 changes for the Switchbacks. And they've left a lot of really crucial players out here. changing goals maybe isn't, because I think Christian Herrera is a good goalkeeper, but Urban in defense and Hodge, Lindley in midfield, how good has he been? Zach Zandy, Amo up front. Maybe this is the right match for Hartford to get off to a winning start. And if they win here and they go to a tiring Detroit, maybe, just maybe they could turn their season around.
Well, it starts with one win. We'll see if they can get that one win here tonight as Galina's taken off the ball. Now here comes Hartford into the attack. Prince Sadie racing forward. Sadie gets the cross in. Ockford there to head it clear. As far as McGlynn.
It's interesting, they've got Joel Johnson and Prince Sadie both on that left-hand side. I thought they would have been on opposite sides of the field, so let's see how that experiment goes.
Of course, Johnson has been very good in the attack this year, but mostly played as an outside back or wing back with Charlotte Independence. Here he is in an attacking position. Joel Johnson, I think that last came off of him. It's out for a goal kick. He's a very versatile player out on the wings.
Yeah, very good attacking player, but Prince Sadie's played mostly on the right, so they've balanced each other out as left wing, right wing. Now they're both starting on the left-hand side. And that might be one of the sort of clever changes from Ray Reid. We'll see how that pans out. But I think when you come in as a new coach, you just want to tweak things a little bit, not change everything, but you want to put your stamp on it and try something new. It gives the players belief. If you say to them, I'm going to try a new tactic, and the players go, oh, okay, maybe this will work. The other stuff hasn't clearly this season. And maybe that's one of the little tweaks that Ray Reid has brought to this team.
It's been tough for Switchbacks to even get on the ball in these opening 10 minutes, but they do have a chance here. And here is Foster, the youngster. Continues his run. Nishi Galina in space. Makangila. Switchbacks will reset. Now please join us in helping founding partner the Hartford celebrate 75 years of educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. Long spell of possession here for the Switchbacks. Trying to get it out wide, and Johnson there to get it clear. Sadie fighting for it. He does come away with it.
You can see how high up here Yunus Budadi is. He's playing as a real right wing back, pushing up in that attack.
And here he is on the ball once again. Budadi trying to turn the corner. It will be another corner kick. This is already the third of the match for Hartford Athletic.
And I guess I'm just thinking that the reason why they've got two down that left-hand side is to stop Nishi Galina, who normally is on the right, but now tonight he's on the left. So I thought Joel Johnson and Prince Sadie were there to stop that from happening.
Swung in, immediately cleared away. Herrera wants to go quick on the throw. He gets it right back. Herrera just behind Perpa. Bouncing around. Perpa chasing after it. Falls to the top of the area. The shot again blocked down. McGlynn slides in. Now Johnson moves it out wide. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. going for the curler, and Herrera sees this fly out of play.
That wasn't the best of strikes, was it, from Juan Obregon Jr.? Prefer him to be in the box, getting on the end of knockdowns, etc. There's the tall Christian Herrera, a goalkeeper. He's going to be difficult to beat in the air. Luca Perpa, nice and positive, and it comes out here. Conor McGlynn's going to throw himself. Here he goes, throws himself at the ball. The commitment from Hartford, you sense there's an increased energy level, and you picked it out by saying how well they've started. It would have taken one incredible strike to score from there from Juan Obregon Jr. But again, the positivity is there from the home side.
And as for the visitors, still trying to get things going here tonight. No shots, are just barely outpossessing Hartford here. Missing that pass on the far side.
Like I was saying a bit earlier, it's risky to make 7 changes, and clearly Brendan Burke wants to rest and rotate his squad during this busy spell, and he probably feels that Hartford is the best team to do that against, with all due respect to Hartford. Probably feels he can make the changes and still come away with something. But it is risky in the sense you're playing a team with a new coach, and that's always a dangerous team.
It's the most changes Brendan Burke has made from one game to another this year. Here's Barrera in space. Barrera slides it out wide for the oncoming Joel Johnson, who tries to square this ball. It's again deflected out, and another corner kick for Hartford.
That's where Joel Johnson's at his best, bombing down that left-hand side with pace, and scored 4 goals already this season, which I was surprised that he was behind Prince Sadie to start with, but maybe they're going to move things around as the game goes on. This is where he's at his most dangerous. A couple of bodies going down in the box. Nothing given.
Another Bank of America corner kick for Hartford Athletic. Barrera to serve again. The outswinger in towards the penalty spot as this comes back in from McGlynn. Hartford asking for a deflection. They'll get it. It's another corner kick.
You can hear the crowd getting behind the team. They can see that there's a much more positive nature from this side. So many of the games they've played, they've been on the back foot. Even against Lou City, they struggled to create chances. Memphis, they struggled as this ball comes in and gets cleared. But here, it's bodies shooting from the edge of the box, getting the ball in the danger area. And you can hear the crowd banging away in the background. I think they can feel that change in energy.
Can they make this hot start pay off? With something on the score sheet. Barrera once again standing over this. The 5th corner kick. Curls it in again. Jadama was up for it. Redirects it. Budati the long run. He'll get there first. Puts it back in the area. And this cleared away. Jadama, McGlynn. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuovo Pasta, Connecticut, and Citizens Bank for supporting our Goals for Meals program. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuovo Pasta and Citizens Bank will donate meals to Food Share Connecticut. Brendan Burke was arguing for a whistle there, never came.
Yeah, I sympathize a bit there. Tom Brewitt's come across just to body check Misha Galina, and went down. Tom Brewitt very cleverly claiming that he was bumped, but I thought that was obstruction or a foul. Let's have a look at it again. Andre Lewis trying to be clever on the touchline, loses possession. Mishi's away, he's gone, and look at Brewitt now just come across and just collide into him. That surely has to be a free kick for Galina.
It's already the 2nd time that they have collided tonight. The first one was given as a foul, that one not. Barrera on the turn, clips this up over the top. Brilliant run of play. But the flag is up for offside. Andre Lewis just leaving a little bit too early. There seems to be a confidence, a bit of a swagger about this Hartford side tonight.
It certainly does. And Andre Lewis against his old side just had a rush of blood to the head. He could see the headlines and he was just off and running. As you say, a split second too early and offside. But definitely you would not think Hartford was struggling and way off the playoffs the way they've started this game. But in many of the games they've looked decent for 50-60 minutes. It's the full 90 that count, as interim coach Ray Reid was saying. Can't afford mistakes. They've got to take their chances, all those good things that professional teams have to do for a full 90 minutes plus added time.
All the way back to Herrera. Talk about Andre Lewis, spent a couple years with Colorado Springs, 6 goals, including 5 of them in the 2021 season. Actually played 29 games, started 18 of them. Of course, 2 of those coming against this Hartford Athletic side, as there's a loose ball. Well, Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, presenting partner of our Community Champion program. Children from underserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to the matches free of charge. little bit of pressure here. Obregon Jr.
Those blue shirts hunting in numbers, and they're forcing that long kick. And they get the throw in. Again, it's a great way to play. Only problem is if Colorado strings a play through you, they've got the pace and attack to take you out. But Hartford willing to take that risk. And I think against a team that's made 7 changes, it's a risk worth taking. A lot of these players haven't played together. It's not the normal Switchbacks lineup. Therefore, you would think they'll take a while to understand each other. And there's proof of it. Ball just given away way too cheaply. Might be an unbalanced team. And these are all reasons why it's a perfect opportunity for Hartford to get 3 points against a top team.
And Hartford's been battle tested lately. 4 of their last 5 opponents have been at or in the top 5 of their respective conferences. And of course, Colorado Springs coming into the night in 2nd spot. They'll be even on games played when San Antonio kicks off tonight with FC Tulsa, a game you can watch on ESPN2, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I wouldn't necessarily call this an appetizer. I'd call it a 2-course entree. You good with that?
Absolutely. This is a good game. And it's been made more even by all the changes that Colorado probably have to make because of the number of matches that's coming up and the need to restrict minutes per player. So it really does even it out. And to your point about Hartford, their last couple of matches, I mean, they drew with Memphis at home. Memphis has been top of the East for a long time. They beat Atlanta they beat them by 3-0 away. That's a fantastic performance. And yes, they lost against Lou City at home, but for a long chunk of that match, they were level. And they had chances to take the lead and eventually succumbed. So I don't think it's a bad Hartford team now. I think they started the season badly. And that's made it so difficult for them to catch up.
5 of their 6 results have come in the last 8 games. They got that early draw against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, in which, as Harry Watling said many times in previous weeks, probably should have gotten the full 3 points out of that, as the advantage is being played here. Ball comes in as Galena was taken down again. And Brendan Burke really trying to protect his player now. Still no whistle or card given to anybody taking down Galena, but that'll draw a whistle. And maybe the referee is going back for this, and it's actually good refereeing by J.C. Griggs. Let advantage go on, and now he'll go back and book the offender.
You're right, it is good refereeing because you don't have to stop the match when the foul takes place. Tom Brewitt looks like going into the book, I think. We'll double check that, but he comes back and it's actually Bedardi. Tom Brewitt could have ended in the book because he had a couple of bad tackles earlier. But the referee doesn't have to stop the match. So good refereeing from J.C. Griggs. And I think Tom Brewitt himself will have to be careful because I think the referee spotted him with a couple of infringements.
Another foul in the middle. Quickly put back in play. And here's Haji Berry driving up the center. For Galena. Tries to go end line, cuts it back. Nobody there in a white shirt. Obregon Jr. is taken down. Adewole might be in trouble here, and it looks like he'll go into the book as well. The game's 2nd yellow card in a matter of moments here. 1 to either side now, and the number 2's on both teams.
Let's have a look and see if this is worthy of a yellow card. I don't know. He's got his foot around. He hasn't gone through him. He's won the ball. Free kick, perhaps, but yellow card.
Stopping the counterattack, does that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, but I thought he won the ball and came from the side. He didn't come from the back. So, look, these are all grey areas. At the end of the day, it is up to the referee to call it as he sees it. Problem is now that Adewole can't afford one more error.
Sadie coming forward, forcing a save out of Herrera. Did some hard work to get through that double team. And now here goes Haji Berry. Good first touch, but the second one let him down. Can you talk about players who are great in 1v1s? Both teams have some excellent players in that department. Prince Sadie to name one on Hartford. Mishi Galina, Haji Berry for Colorado Springs.
The thing with Switchbacks is if they get on the front foot, and when they get on the front foot, I should say, Haji Berry and Misha Galina are so dangerous. Galina's so quick down the wings, and Haji Berry's touches, his shots, we saw it last season. We've seen a bit of it this season, although he's been more of an assist man as well as scoring, whereas last season he was all about goals. But when they get in the right place, they will hurt you. What they haven't been able to do, and that's credit to Hartford, is get into the Hartford box where they are at their most dangerous. They've been limited in their attacks. And maybe that's the game plan from Ray Reid, is if we're on the front foot, then they have to defend. And so Hartford's done a very good job so far, but like we say, against Colorado Springs Switchbacks, you've got to put in a full 90. 25 is just the beginning.
So far, just 3 touches in the opposition box for Colorado Springs. That distribution by Yannick Otel a little bit too far. Goalkeeper on loan from New England Revolution. Mostly spending time with Revs 2.
Has a history from Augsburg in Germany, which is a decent footballing club. So you would think his pedigree and his background is such that he could be a massive, massive positive boost for Hartford Athletic. And you've got Jimmy Slayton on the bench, who when he's come on, I thought he's done reasonably well.
Headed down. Haji Berry for Galina. Berry again got a touch to it. Here's Obregon Jr. I think Ray Reid has kind of gotten his wish tonight. It's been a lot on the ball for Danny Barrera. Here he is again. And this is a giveaway. Well, Lyco Office Furniture is a proud sponsor of the Hartford Athletic. For over 40 years, Lyco Office Furniture has been furnishing startup to Fortune 500 companies all over New England. Go to lycoinc.com for more information. Foul will set up another free kick for Colorado Springs. A stalemate so far through 27 minutes. It was a great start for Hartford Athletic. Bevy of early corners. Not able to get on the score sheet. And fortunately, that's kind of been an issue for them this entire season. Tied for the 3rd least amount of goals in the Eastern Conference and also in the league. They've only scored 15. You said the front 3 for Colorado Springs scored how many? 19?
19.
So there you go.
In fact, they and San Diego are the only teams in the entire USL who have more than 2 goals per game. And that's a fantastic record to run all the way through Colorado Springs Switchbacks. But, you know, they're missing their normal players. So, again, to make the point, they might not be as strong as they normally are. Just looking at the expected goals for the home side, 0.38. For Colorado Springs, 0.0. In other words, they haven't even come close to troubling Otel in goals. And that's not like the Switchbacks.
The thing about the Switchbacks is when they do get chances, their conversion rate at 23%.
Wow.
Just behind San Diego Loyal.
That is good. Some of the
stoppage in play. Did they call an illegal back pass here? What's the decision going to be here from the referee? There was a whistle to stop play. Maybe they're just switching out the soccer ball, which actually might be what they're doing. There was a look of kind of amusement on the face of Christian Herrera. And that's exactly what it was. False alarm.
I think Brendan Burke will be happy that half an hour into the game, they've managed to sort of deal with the excitement and energy of a Hartford side with a new coach and all the crowd and what they and their expectations are, and they've slowly worked their way back into this match. I think if he even got a draw out of this, Brendan Burke, I think he might be happy because you're on the road, you've made 7 changes, Draw wouldn't be a bad result, although given how good they've been, they will probably expect to get the 3 points.
And there's no doubt the expectations for this Colorado Springs team have increased, especially after what they were able to do last year. And there hasn't been a whole great lineage for this Switchback side, and at least in terms of success in the standings. But of course, last year, a great season for them. They did bow out in the first round of the playoffs, but as Brendan Burke said earlier this season, expectations as a group are far bigger than last year, and that comes with a greater weight of responsibility. So as they build this team depth, also trying to, I think, spread that throughout the entire team, that whoever's in the 11, they have to, I guess, pull their weight. As this is turned over, here's Galina. Mishi Galina going for it from distance, and he wasn't too far away. He went all himself, but just wide of Odell and net.
Yeah, it's a decent strike, isn't it? And that's the danger with him when he runs at you. You've got to get cover. You've got to get one centre back who's able to close him down, the other one to be there in case the first one gets beaten. If you keep backing off, he will eventually take the shot. This is a danger. You lose possession, and straight away, Barry to Galina, and that's a combination that's worked so many times. They're backing off, backing off. Eventually, what is he, at 23, 24 yards out? Doesn't miss by much.
This runs through for Herrera. Located in Windsor, Connecticut, Day Hill Dome will feature the region's only full-size indoor field, plus multiple outdoor fields. Visit dayhilldome.com for more information.
And I'm just thinking back to the 2 goals he scored against Indy 11. One he ran right through and chipped over the goalkeeper. Beautiful chip. The other one, he was on the touchline and he went, I think, to cross it and bent it into the net. So you don't want to give Mishi Galina too many chances if you're Hartford.
Here's Foster. Adewole, why not? Continues his run, but it was closed down by Brewitt. Here's Belmar in his first start of the season, and his first start ever for Colorado Springs. Coming over from Sacramento Republic. Really never got going in the goal scoring department. Was trying to find his form from his days with Sporting Kansas City 2. He scored 25 goals over in a couple season span. And trying to restart his career here with the Switchbacks, and he's joining into a pretty good attack.
He is, and as you said, it's his first full start. So his previous 10 appearances were all as a sub, and in many cases for just 7-8 minutes only. It's very difficult to have an impact. Now, if you have a full game, be it 90 minutes, or if he gets subbed off and Amo comes on after, say, 70, if you get 70 minutes and you don't impress the coach, then I just wonder where you fit in next, because your job as a striker is, if not to score goals, certainly to test the goalkeeper. And he either hasn't had the service or he hasn't been able to create anything himself. And when you're playing alongside Hadji Barry and Mishi Galina, well, the coach is not going to blame them. He's going to look at you and say, well, I know the other two perform. It's up to you to show me what you can do. So I think it's a huge night for Colton Belmar. And at 29 years of age, he's a mature player. He knows he has to perform. And tonight the scene is set for him.
Meanwhile, Hartford trying to regain some of that form from earlier in the match. Things have no doubt slowed down in terms of attacking opportunities. Brewitt, his head up all the way. A switch of play. It's Prince Sadie trying to turn the corner. Eventually, he is whistled for the foul.
He still stayed on that left-hand side, Prince Sadie. I thought with Mishi Galina on the other side of the pitch, he might have come across to try and slow him down, but he hasn't. That Joel Johnson Prince Sadie combination remains on the left. You can see there's plenty of pushing and tugging. You're not going to get away with that. Yeah, he might have been held as well, but the referee sees you because you're between him and the defender. So I wonder if Ray Reid might switch things up at halftime or not, as far as Prince Saidi is concerned.
There's Lewis, and he's brought down. Now right in the middle. Hopefully Makangila getting a start tonight for the Switchbacks. And here come the Switchbacks again. This slipped in behind. It's Carlton Belmar. Centering feed. One extra pass. Echeverria. Did that take a deflection? It did not. It's straight out for a goal kick.
You see how quick the Switchbacks there. Issa Ryan winning the ball in midfield and making that run straight into the box, and finds Carlton Belmar out wide on the left, and eventually it comes back to Echeverria. And that's the danger, and you just get the sense that Switchbacks are growing into this match. Another turnover. Yep, he gets the free kick this time, but the pressure was on the Switchbacks for the first 20 or 25 minutes. It's beginning to move now onto Hartford Athletic. You hope their heads don't drop. Such a positive start from the home side. They've got to keep believing and keep pushing forward.
A little bit more pressure from the Switchbacks, making it a little bit more difficult for Hartford to get forward. Here's Barrera dropping very deep now. Another giveaway, and how quickly will Colorado Springs look upfield? That pressure again. Issa Ryan. Foster. He's out of play for a throw, and Foster holding his ankle.
And Luca Perpa coming in with a tackle there. I didn't see too much wrong with it. We'll have a look at it again and see if it was player then ball, but Foster didn't quite shield it well. Have a look as it comes through. The ball's there, and he actually dummies it and leaves it there to be tackled. So it was a fair ball won by Luca Perpa, and there's a little bit of a follow through, but not much you can do when you're kicking the ball away. And as I said for Carlton Belmar, I think the same applies to Isaiah Foster, Issa Ryan, Stephen Echeverria, players who don't normally get a good run out. And they just need to show Coach Brendan Burke what they can do, what value they can add if they're to become regular features in this wonderful Colorado Springs Switchback side.
Played down the right, and here come the Switchbacks into the attack. Jostling for possession, and this will be a yellow card. Looks like Joel Johnson going into the book. And is this going to be just outside the area? That's where the initial contact was made. Johnson, a yellow card. It does look like a free kick for fouling Galina.
And you've got both fullbacks left and right, because Bedardie's got a yellow as well. He's the wrong side of Galina. Yeah, you could see he's holding onto his shirt the whole time. Even as he's falling, he's still got his shirt. There's no question. That's a yellow card. And it went into the box he was holding. So he's very lucky that wasn't given as a penalty.
Set piece opportunity. Go with the outswinger. This curled in. Little flicked header will come to the near side. Issa Ryan will collect. And the flag is up for offside. Hartford Athletic is proud to partner with Baronet Coffee, a fourth-generation family-owned business founded in 1930. Baronet roasts and sells only the finest specialty coffees. Go to baronetcoffee.com and save 20% on your order with the code Hartford Athletic. Some confusion as to where this free kick should be taken. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. This is flicked through. We'll run all the way through for the goalkeeper, but it looked like a clash of heads. Adewole and Obregon Jr. remain down.
As always, a worrying moment when players hold their head, and we sincerely hope they're both going to be okay. Other players are going to quickly grab a drink, get some hydration going. Good to see them both seemingly able to get up and move. Not quite sure what goalkeeper Otel's having to say to Prince Sadie. Maybe run long and I'll kick it over the top for you, or maybe he's talking about where he must pick up when he comes back and defends. And likewise, Coach Ray Reid having a few words. It's been a very good first half for Hartford, but it's just the fact they've lost the initiative in the last few minutes that should be worrying for Coach Ray Reid. Here's the collision of heads, up they go, and then afterwards, that's where the heads get banged. And good to see them both up on their feet.
Five minutes to go until halftime. Still looking for that opener. Hartford Athletic would like to extend a special thanks to our partners Jim Beam Bourbon and Hornitos Plata Tequila.
Brandon Burke just contemplating things. He's never scared of playing away from home. I think they have the best away record in the USL. Switchbacks, 7 games, they've won 6 of them. Who can say that when you're on the road? And they've got some difficult matches coming up. Sacramento Republic next, and what a great win they had in the quarterfinals of the Open Cup against LA Galaxy. And now they are through to the semis. They're away next. They've got San Diego at home. That's not easy. El Paso away. So again, the reason for rotating so much and making 7 changes is he wants to get his players in peak form and well rested for those games.
They're 6-1 on the road coming into this game. 7 games, but San Antonio, the only team in the Western Conference better, but they played 3 more road games coming into play today, 8-2.
So is 8-2 better than 6-1?
I mean,
just asking.
Just points. I don't know. More points, but more games. I don't know. We'll see how it all shakes out. Colorado Springs still has to go to San Antonio later on this season, so those top 2 teams still will face each other at least one more time in this calendar year. Here's Sadie with the cross, batted away by Herrera. Still an opportunity here, and Herrera makes another save. Andre Lewis tried to squeeze that in from the top of the area, and Herrera was down to claim it.
Good hands from Herrera, doesn't spill that ball loose, although I would question the first punch out. You try and punch it away to the sides of the pitch, not right down the very center. But give him credit for the save he made from the shot that came back in. He's a tall goalkeeper. It looks like he's 6'4", 6'5". Be very, very difficult to beat with that sort of stretch. And as good as Jeff Caldwell is, I think it's a nice little battle going on there for the regular starters jersey for the Switchbacks.
And of course, Caldwell, 2nd in saves, tied for 3rd in clean sheets across the USL a year ago. So to unseat those numbers, something pretty good that Herrera is doing for this Colorado Springs side.
I'm thinking back to their 3-1 win against Los Dos, and he made a couple of really good saves there, one double save in particular. So he's really impressed, has Christian Herrera.
He does have USL Championship experience with Tacoma. A little bit of pressure from McGlynn. It'll run all the way through again for Herrera. We'll go back to that last opportunity for Hartford.
Prince Sadie with the ball across, but look at the goalkeeper punch it into the middle of the goal. That's the danger area you want to try and avoid. But when the ball comes back, good hands, body behind the ball.
Sadie taking off the ball and then went in for a little bit extra. Switchbacks don't like that one. Sadie, he will be going into the book, taking down Matt Mahoney. I don't think the arm around the referee is going to help save him from the yellow card coming.
Referee quite right, telling all the switchback players to go away. He's going to deal with it. And doesn't. He does pull out the goal. I'm going to say I was surprised if he didn't.
That would have been some sweet talking.
Yeah. But I mean, the point is, the moment the other players from the opposition gather around, they make it very difficult for the referee not to give the yellow. And he does. Yeah, look, it's worthy of a yellow, no question. But have a look at the pressure on the referee. Well, you can't see it there. All the switchback players get around referees, and I do think it makes the referee's job so difficult. But JC Griggs dealing with it really well, telling them to get away and let him speak to Prince Sadie one-on-one.
It's 2 minutes of Brynjol Vineyard stoppage time. It over the top, and the flag, it was up for offside. I think that was on Belmar, but play continued on as Belmar removed himself from the play. Now the ball comes in. Haji Berry is there. It's off the underside of the crossbar and stays out. The best chance of the match for the Switchbacks.
What a strike that is from Haji Berry, from a tight angle as well. The skill to be able to find the target. Ball comes in from Carlton Belmar, and Echeverria fighting for it, but Haji Berry, it hits it and comes down. Doesn't cross the line. Ooh, it's going to be close. I don't think it crossed the line, but Yannick Otel not even getting close to saving that.
Must have been some English on that ball to take it off the crossbar in that direction. This will be a foul, and we'll end the threat here as Budati is left on the turf.
You see, I think that's a reminder to Hartford the dangers of switchbacks. They are such a good side with players who can turn a match in an instant, as Brendan Burke is just arguing with the fourth referee. And that's why if you're going to beat them, you need to get a couple of goals ahead, because in an instant, Mishi Galina, Haji Berry, they can turn a match.
And of course, right next to Brendan Burke on that bench is James Chambers, who played under Brendan Burke when he was at the helm of Bethlehem Steel, Philadelphia Union 2, now joining the coaching ranks. Oda will put this back into play, as we are just about at halftime here. Maybe one more chance, if not for a big clearance. It'll be a foul. I think that should probably bring us to halftime. And it will. So through 45 minutes, nothing to split these two sides. Chances both ways. Hartford a good start. The Switchbacks with a pretty good finish.
Yeah, I think Haji Berry and company have done well just to take the sting out of this Hartford athletic energy they have with the new coach, and you expect them to start piling on the pressure second half, the visitors. Very similar to the way Memphis did it when they came here a couple of weeks ago. 0-0 half-time and then 2 goals in the second half. That's the potential for Switchbacks. Obviously, Hartford have to do the opposite. They've got to get the breakthrough. Let's see what Ray Reid can do at half-time for the home side.
So we'll see what the second half brings, but the second matchup ever between these two sides has netted a 0-0 halftime scoreline. Hartford, it's a bit of a new era now with Ray Reid in charge, but it's halftime at home. Hartford 0, Colorado Springs 0. Halftime from Trinity Health Stadium. Beautiful night here in Hartford, Connecticut, but no score between Hartford Athletic and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. A busy part of the season for both of these teams, and of course the change at the helm for Hartford Athletic, but this is what they have coming up. They do have a week off before they head to Keyworth. That's going to be a tough one against Detroit City.
Wow, it will be, but Detroit just going off the ball a little bit. Maybe there's hope there. Tampa Bay Rowdies, good luck there. They are in such great form. Their victory over Pittsburgh was just stunning. Charleston Battery also recovering in the middle of the season. That could be tough. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, always a top-class side, and RGV have their moments. They're playing some good football. So, yeah, it still continues to be a tough season, but I don't think their fans expect them to get to the playoffs. They're just hoping to see improvement. And if they can get a couple of results from those tough 5 matches, then I think the fans would be happy with what Ray Reid is doing.
And they come into the night 9 points off the playoff line. That's Indy 11 in 7th. On the other side, it's a lot of games, and they're coming very quick for this Switchback side.
Oh, some tough ones. Sacramento Republic, they're in fantastic form at the moment. They really are brilliant. San Diego Loyal as well. El Paso away is difficult. LA Galaxy 2 away. They've got a very good home record there. And they play San Diego again away. So, yeah, as we were saying with Hartford, and also a tough run. The difference with the Switchbacks is they have the ability to go and win those games. And they're sitting, if they win this, even if they draw, they go joint top. If they win, they go clear top. So they will go into those games with confidence.
There's no doubt about it. Hartford has to feel confident after that first 45 minutes. Can they steal 3 points at home against one of the top teams in the West? It's halftime, and it's 0-0.
Goes topic speakers. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today when we go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
It's all Colorado Springs tonight.
Already a goal in this one. Cross it. Oh!
Floated back the other way. Header, what a save! San Diego!
Drew the penalty from long range. Guido fires away! What a shot!
Halftime from Trinity Health Stadium. No score between Hartford Athletic and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. News and notes from around the USL Championship. The legendary partnership, USL and Legends announcing a 10-year partnership driving the next evolution of the USL's business. But of course, the big news of the week in the Open Cup, Sacramento Republic will host Sporting Kansas City in the semis.
Brilliant. To go away to LA Galaxy and beat them on their home turf with nearly a full-strength LA Galaxy side. Chicharito comes on. It's just stunning. And then on top of that in the league, they've gone, I think, they've lost 1 in 11. They've gone on a fantastic run.
And they got a come-from-behind win over Monterey Bay, but there are some other interesting scorelines, including San Diego Loyal 5-0 over Indy 11.
Look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh were at home,
yeah.
And Tampa Bay put 5 past them. They've never had 5 scored against them on a home turf. Good to see Orange County back into winning ways.
And they won 3-1. They'll face San Diego tomorrow, but upcoming on the schedule, it'll be FC Tulsa and San Antonio tonight. And then, of course, the Colorado Springs match against San Diego at home. All these games on ESPN2, some good ones.
Yeah, Lou City, Phoenix Rising. There's 2 of the great sides, although Phoenix Rising is not as good this season as they normally are, but there's a lot of history between those 2 teams.
Of course, a rematch of the 2018 title match. So it is halftime here from Trinity Health Stadium. The second half from Hartford is coming up.
You strive to stay on top of your health, but you can't always see what's coming. So whether you're ready or not, we are. At Trinity Health of New England, offering you expert orthopedic care throughout our hospitals and physician offices, whenever you need us, for whatever it is. You didn't plan on the pain, but you can make your next move an easy one. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there. There's comfort in routine, and discomfort can be a disruption. But Trinity Health of New England is here to help with an experienced urology team offering advanced diagnostics and treatment expertise throughout our hospitals and physician offices. Because if something is keeping you from living well, you deserve better and the very best care to make it happen. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there. You've got a life to live, and you don't want to miss a beat. But sometimes it happens. And Trinity Health of New England is ready with comprehensive cardiovascular expertise delivered with commitment and compassion throughout our network of hospitals and physician offices. So when you trust your care to Trinity, you won't have to hope for the best. You can set your heart on it. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there. You've made changes, smart choices, a commitment. So this can be hard to understand. But at Trinity Health of New England, we do. Throughout our hospitals and physician offices, our dedicated weight management team provides expert guidance and care for a successful, personalized journey to better health. Because we understand it's not about what you hope to lose, but all you can expect to gain. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Lay's Fly Airport Parking is a proud partner of the Hartford Athletic. Save 20% on your airport parking by pre-booking on laysfly.com. First half highlights, Hartford Athletic, Colorado Springs Switchbacks. We start things off 24th minute. Prince Sadie trying to muscle his way forward.
Yep, shot straight at the goalkeeper, so it wasn't too difficult for Christian Herrera, but nice positive play, and Prince Sadie moving from left to right for that particular move. But slowly, Switchbacks got on the front foot, and Colton just has a look up here, Colton Belmar, and he looks for options around him. It's going to come to Echeverria, and he tries a shot, just pulls it wide of Yannick Otel's goal.
Trying to beat Otel for the first time tonight. Belmar, of course, his first start in a Switchbacks uniform, and trying to influence the attack as Echeverria put that shot out wide. Just before halftime, more opportunities would come for the home side.
Yeah, Joel Johnson threatening down that left-hand side, puts the ball in, gets knocked out, and then fired back in. Keeper makes a decent save there from Prince Sadie. Body behind the ball from Christian Herrera.
And then in the stoppage time, this has to be the best chance of the match.
Yeah, it just drops for Echeverria, gets it to Hadji Barry. He smacks it off the crossbar. What a strike. Goalkeeper's unable to get a touch on it. And it bounces down, but doesn't seem to cross the line.
So here we go. Second 45 minutes from Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford, Connecticut. With Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Eastern. Bonanza ready to cheer on their home side for 45 more minutes on this Tuesday night. First of two across the USL Championship. Don't forget, USL and ESPN continues tonight with San Antonio and FC Tulsa. But we have 45 more minutes here from Hartford. Will there be a winner between these two sides? There were 6 goals in the matchup last year when these two sides met up. We'll see if this second half produces some goals. Here's Mahoney. Cutting in field, Mahoney continues his run, cuts it back. Jadama stepped in and cleared it away.
That's a fantastic run from Matt Mahoney. So positive, direct, plays it in. I think he got it back from Barry. Perfectly weighted ball. He was right in the box there, just couldn't find anyone on the pullback, but that's where they can be very, very dangerous, Switchbacks. Running at you in the box, playing off little 1-2s. Hadji Barry's a master at just laying it off nicely. So too is Galina. And that's the last thing Hartford want, is to allow the Switchbacks to run at you on the edge of your box.
Mahoney just keeping that in play. Adewale gets it clear. There's Sadie, who stays on this left side with Joel Johnson, something you pointed out in that first half.
Yep, surprising change. He did move across occasionally to the right, but majoritively, as you say, he was on that left-hand side. Combination I didn't expect to see. Sadie and Joel Johnson both on the left, but it seems to be working for them. Certainly expected goals, 0.45 for the home side, 0.25 for the visitors, although I do suspect that we'll see more of the Switchbacks on attack in the second half. I think they just managed to wrestle control and initiative before half-time, and now it's a battle to get it back, but you just get the sense the Switchbacks have enough good players, especially with the likes of Hadji Barry, to start to dominate this match. And of course, they can bring Amo off the bench.
Here's Foster looking in field. In the game on Friday against San Antonio, the first time that the Switchbacks in league play had been held off the score sheet. They did suffer a 1-0 defeat against Northern Colorado Hailstorm. That was in the Open Cup all the way back in April. Every other time this season they've taken the field, they have scored. And most of the time, it's been at least multiple goals.
And they had chances against San Antonio. Hadji Barry went round the keeper early on in that match, and only a fantastic defender's block stopped him from scoring.
Prince Sadie deflecting down, cleared away. Slight appeal for a handball. Lewis, a wiggle free. He was fouled. It's a free kick for Hartford.
And the yellow card for Matt Mahoney. I think it was a professional foul. He just stopped in the way of Andre Lewis. You could see he was going through them there and just sticks out a left shoulder. No question for me, that's a yellow card. Have a look at it from this angle. Watch that left shoulder there. Bang. Takes him out. Took one for the team there, Matt Mahoney.
They're starting to mount those yellow cards for some key pieces. Both outside backs for Hartford, now 2 center backs for Colorado Springs. Picked up a yellow card.
Just looking at Danny Barrera, just holding the ball there. He needs to influence this game. Coach saying that when he's on the ball, he can be effective. Well, now he's on the ball, he needs to be effective for his side, as he was in the last few seasons.
Johnson and Barrera standing around this, a 2-man wall to protect that near post. This is Barrera to swing it in. The header comes on, and this is just wide. Luca Purpa may have been the one to get his head to it, and Barrera put in a great ball.
That's better from Barrera. That's what he's capable of. I think it's Tom Brewer who also throws his head in here. Have a look at Benz. You're right, it is actually Purpa. It comes off. I think Brewer took a few players out in the process as well. Much better. Dangerous ball. Ask questions of defenders. Oh, he's lucky that flag went up. Yana Goetzel, he might have been handball outside the box.
I would have been curious to see what the decision was going to be. Flag bails him out. Don't miss the next match right here at Trinity Health Stadium, July 9th, 7 p.m. Go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information as Hartford take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Another tough game upcoming for Hartford. It'll be a 2-game week next week as well, with the midweek fixture at Detroit. This is lofted forward. Obregon Jr. trying to nod that down. Oxford gets it away. Mahoney just got that out from underneath his feet. Herrera slides in. Now he's well off his line. Good ball pressure, but now it's Purpa for Prince Sadie, and he missed it. Wrong side of the post, and he wasn't really close in the end.
It's a good chance for Prince Sadie. Got to do better, got to hit target, as we always say, but when that ball comes loose, it comes loose to Danny Barrera, and the goalkeeper was out of goals. I just thought for a second Barrera might have tried to hit that first time. Wasn't able to for whatever reason, and the opportunity was lost, but you could see that Christian Herrera, having committed himself, had left an open goal.
I'm sure as the goalkeeping battle is as tight as ever between Herrera and Caldwell. Those are those little details I'm sure that Brendan Burke thinks about in deciding what keeper to put out there in that starting 11.
And it wasn't Christian Herrera's fault in the first place. A bad back pass that got everybody into trouble.
Now here comes Hartford again. Purpa's waiting in the middle. So is Obregon Jr. Now it's McGlynn. He can hit it from distance, but that was, again, the wrong direction.
Yeah, I've seen him hit them a lot better than that. He has a wonderful strike on him. There's Connor McGlynn. When he does catch it, it absolutely flies, but that wasn't one of his better.
Thank you to all of our Business Alliance members. Tonight's Business Alliance partner of the match is Allied Printing. Yeah,
it's a pity because you don't actually always have to beat the keeper. If you just get it on target, No saying that Christian Herrera is going to hold on to it. He might parry it out, and you've got a striker then who can tap in the loose ball. So percentage football, just hit target.
In behind, it's Mishi Galina. He's pulled down. There might have been a little bit of contact. Referee points for a goal kick. But that's interesting. Is that not simulation?
Yeah, you would think it's one or the other. There was definitely some contact. Let's have a look at it again here. Joel Johnson gets beaten for position now. Does he pull him there? Oh, it's not enough for me to give a penalty, but Jadama, you take one hell of a risk when you put your arm on someone's shoulder. But I think he's thrown himself to the ground. I think that's simulation. There wasn't enough there for him to go down. And if he'd have kept going, Galina, maybe he would have had a shot on goal. But it's very close. It's a grey area as to how much is enough to pull you to the ground.
That's the thing about penalties, and I feel like simulation not called enough, especially in those sorts of situations, because the rule is there for a reason. It's either one or the other. Maybe that's an argument for another day, but an interesting one there between Jadama and Galina.
That's the danger with Galina. He got behind Joel Johnson and was away, and that caused so much trouble and could. Different referee, different day, have got a penalty. That's what you have to be careful with when you've got the likes of him and Haji Barry against you.
Obregon Jr. just floating over towards that ball in the header. And we're near Christian Herrera in goal.
What makes the switchback so difficult to play against is the class of Mishi Galina and Haji Barry is such that they can conjure something from nothing against any team in the USL. And so you might think you're sitting happy at 0-0, and 3 minutes later you could be 2-0 down. So again, if you want, if Hartford want to win this match, you probably think they have to score and get ahead, and because if they try and hold on to a 0-0, there's every chance that switchbacks will find a way through this defense, as they have, as you pointed out. Was it only San Antonio they haven't scored against in the league?
Yeah.
And even then, they should have scored. Their XG was 1.34, so they were a little bit unlucky on the night.
And if you want to get technical, they did score an own goal. So,
I'm not so sure that qualifies as a goal.
So Ryan or Mahoney. Such an integral part to this switchback side. Brendan Burke always wanting him on that back line. Of course, spending some time with him at Bethlehem Steel. Matt Mahoney back in 2017, 2018. Galina. Little give and go. Galina coming in. Galina weaving through. Puts that ball across. Shot from distance. And that's sliced out of play. Beverly Makangila running onto it.
How good was Mishi Galina there down that right-hand side? Lovely interplay. Have a look here. He plays it and gets it back. It's a beautiful little ball just laid into him there. But he keeps on going. Unbelievable skill. Matt Mahoney playing his part and just laying that off for Mishi Galina, and unfortunately Makangila's strike way off target. But that is just class play, and we were just saying, from Mishi Galina and Haji Barry, you get some of the best football seen in the USL.
Sadie tries to serve that in for Obregon Jr., and it's blocked out of play. Johnson will come up to take this. And all the way back to Brewitt. Here's Budati. Barrera for Lewis. Herpa. Herpa will go for the curler, and Adewole heads it out of play. Their corner kick coming for Hartford.
That's better. That's where you want Luca Perpa. That's where you want Danny Barrera, the two creative midfielders on the edge of the box, probing with passes. Much better from Hartford. Now just looking at the bench, I mean, they've got Corey Herzog. I expect to see Ariel Martinez at some stage, Rashawn Darley. Whereas Colorado Springs' bench is a little bit thin. There's plenty there for Hartford to bring on fresh legs in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and expect to see a few players come on.
Those three players you mentioned all came on at the same time against Lou City. As Barrera gets set to serve in this Bank of America corner kick. Barrera close to the goalkeeper. He does punch it away. McGlynn. The shot took a deflection. Modu Jadama serves it up again. Joel Johnson for Lewis. Hartford just couldn't get anything tangible on net. A chance now for the Switchbacks to counter. And this will be another yellow card, and this time it goes to Connor McGlynn.
Yeah, no question about that. That's bordering on a red card there, where you, not just a professional foul, you're stopping the play, but you're endangering the player that you're tackling. That was just a lunge at Galina to bring him down. Let's have a look at it again. I mean, Connor McGlynn wants to stop him, but ooh, the studs are up. It's late. I think that's what Brendan Burke is saying, and I tell you, I sympathize. That is, it's touch and go, red card. So Connor McGlynn, a lucky man, but he took one for the team there. He knew that if he let Mishi go, they were going to struggle to stop him. And again, that's the threat of Mishi and Haji Barry, is you just know how good they are. You've got to find ways to stop them, but those ways might mean that you end up in the book. And it's exactly what has happened to Connor McGlynn.
Since 2018, the fix has been Hartford County's leading wellness spa. Whether you need a quick B12 shot to increase energy or a vitamin infusion to rehydrate, this is the place to reset your mind and body. Take time, treat yourself, and invest in your health. Does sound like there will be a few subs coming for Colorado Springs the next few moments, with Elvis Amo, Malik Johnson getting set to come on. Definitely trying to shake up this attack is Brendan Burke. As we pass the hour mark, still nothing to split these two sides. This game very much there for the taking for either side.
We spoke about Carlton Belmont, what a big match this was for him to impact the game. Oof, taking a risk there at the back. And, oh, nice, but he still bombs through the middle here, Brewitt.
Brewitt finds Sadie. Sadie, his cross blocked down. He loves those 1v1s, Prince Sadie. Ball comes back in. Johnson. Trying to slide this in behind. Good ball. Herrera off his line. Falls through for Sadie, and the flag is up for offside. That may have bailed out Colorado Springs in that instance as Sadie was running onto it. And those two subs will be made now. So it's Elvis Amo, Malik Johnson coming on, Carlton Belmar, Issa Ryan will be coming off. There are 4G recycling subs.
Just talking about Carlton Belmar, this was his night to show what he could do. Don't think he did much, didn't threaten the goal. Worked hard, no question. But if you're going to get in the starting lineup of this fantastic switchback side, I don't think he's done enough to impress his manager. pity for him. But Elvis Amo, who has got 6 goals and 2 assists, he's on, and that is a problem for Hartford.
Those goals have come in the last 4 games as well. Elvis Amo has been at least probably one of the most informed players in the USL Championship, just based on those numbers alone. 6 goals, 2 assists for the 30-year-old Ghanaian. Scored 11 goals a year ago with RGV. Trying to connect via Mishi Galina. And a whistle will stop play. Well, tonight's match is Stroke Awareness Night, presented by Trinity Health of New England.
I think you have to credit Brendan Burke here for making the changes. It's not like he's accepting the draw. He wants to go on and win this, and what a fantastic season he has created with this Switchback side. And it's difficult to say who's ever going to win the USL Championship, because it doesn't always go to form, but you've got to fancy Colorado Springs have a great chance. They had a great chance last year until Mishi got loaned out to LAFC. I think if he'd have stayed with him, they could have gone all the way. This season, I think there's every chance they will do.
Ran into, of course, Orange County, went down to 10 men in that game as well.
So Brendan Burke's moved his chess pieces around. The question is, what is Ray Reid going to do? I still expect to see Ariel Martinez, Rashawn Darley, maybe even Corey Herzog, as they bring some fresh legs up front for Hartford.
Comes Hartford Athletic again. Moving this out wide. Brewitt to play chase all the way back. Touched along by Obregon Jr. Sadie, and he was offside. Brendan Burke was pleading for the flag to come up, and it eventually did.
That was close. But Prince Sadie's got the pace. That's why he can afford to stay onside. Doesn't need to risk it. Anyway, that's his last involvement.
It's Ash Apollon coming on, replacing Prince Sadie, a 4G recycling substitution, and maybe a more natural left back coming on for Hartford. And Joel Johnson's played a lot on that front line this year. He might get the chance to do that now for the remainder. We'll see what Ray Reid decides, though.
Does look as if Joel Johnson is staying in that left back position. There he is with the ball, and Ash Apollon just ahead of him. I don't think that's the last sub we've seen for Hartford. I think as the home side, they're going to want to push forward. They're going to want to obviously get that goal, because they know that the Switchbacks could score at any minute. And to do that, they might want to bring lots of fresh legs on.
Lewis moves it out wide. Butati continues his run. And able to look infield. Cross coming in. Obregon Jr. Oh, that would have been special.
And that would have been Golasso and Goal of the Week all in one.
Galina running in behind. There's Mishi Galina. Galina saved. Yannick Odell. His biggest involvement of the night, and it keeps this match scoreless.
That's the danger of Mishi Galina. Been saying it time and time again. He gets behind you. You cannot catch him. Joel Johnson was chasing shadows there, and his goalkeeper bails him out. But have a look at Joel Johnson. He's struggling and struggling. I thought he pulled a hamstring or something at the moment. Tom Brewitt gets back, but the goalkeeper comes up massive there.
And the goalkeeping battle we talked about with Colorado Springs, similar with Hartford Athletic. Of course, you mentioned Austin Pack. He's moved on from the club. Jimmy Slayton, who has started a few games this year as well, he is now on the bench, and it's Yannick Odell in again for Hartford Athletic, and again, a very solid save there from the shot stopper.
It's interesting, you can see Corey Herzog right behind the goal there, just talking to the players. I don't know if he's giving them advice or give him some energy, but I'm surprised the subs are allowed to get that close to the actual goal itself.
Now a player down in the area. It looked like there may have been something at midfield as well.
Is that Joel Johnson? Because he seemed to slow up when that ball went through. Misha Galina got ahead of him, and I thought then he had pulled something because he suddenly slowed up.
We knew Mishi was fast. We didn't think he was that fast.
No,
right?
he is that fast. That's why I'm surprised he didn't stay at LAFC, and I thought he's a good enough player to play at MLS level. But certainly here, it's once he gets away from you. And to think that he's going to lift his head and pass the ball to Hadji Barry, then you've got to deal with him. And now they've chucked Elvis Amo into it. It's a real problem for the defenders of Hartford. But Ray Reid did say to us he would know a lot more at the end of this game about his players and which players could stand up, which players could perform. So far, I think he'll be pleased, but it's a crucial last 20 minutes for the home side.
It did look like Rashawn Dolly, along with Ariel Martinez, preparing to come on. Let's see if Corey Herzog is in that group as well. And it looked like you just saw the signal from the trainer there that Joel Johnson will need to come off. And helping out Ray Reid on the bench now, Joe Lucas Santos and Matt Bessener. So it's two subs. First one will be Juan Carlos Obregon Jr., who will be coming off. And the second, Joel Johnson. Ariel Martinez, Rashawn Dolly, the two replace them. Ariel Martinez still looking for his first goal involvement for Hartford Athletic. These are 4G recycling substitutions.
Good to see Martinez back. A chance for him to really let everybody know that he's fit and ready to play by getting a winning goal. It's always what you want to do if you're coming on as a sub at 0-0. Be that player that makes a difference. Perhaps it's Rashawn Dolly. He certainly has had a couple of assists in the last few matches coming on as a sub. And let's see if he can actually score one himself.
Martinez, his second appearance back since April 30th. Played over the weekend as well, as this is served in. Martinez right into it, heads it clear. Echeverria, this comes in. It's taken by Odell. Pass looking for width, blocked down. And here come the switchbacks up the other way. Mishi Galina directing traffic. Now he serves it in. Mo just wide. We got that first touch right, and the shot was just inches wide.
As that combination, those three up front, wherever they combine with each other, different class. Ball comes out wide to Mishi Galina. Mo does so brilliantly well to control it and then still get the shot in, which wasn't far wide. This is a real problem now. With those three up front for Hartford, you've got to keep extra bodies back to defend, which means you've got less option to go forward. So it becomes a risk and reward thing. Do you try and hold on to the draw? Do you risk it and throw bodies forward and then get caught in the counter-attack? It's a difficult situation, and it's why switchbacks have been at the top of the table. Not many teams know how to stop this front three from scoring.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL strives to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/foreverproud. Referee having to step in here. Pruitt puts it back in play. Westfield Bank is proud to support Hartford Athletic and all they do to make our community better. If you need more convenience from your bank at Westfield Bank, you can bank your way. Here's Dolly, in for Martinez! The substitute makes an immediate impact. It's his first goal for Hartford Athletic, and they grab a late lead.
Fantastic finish there from Ariel Martinez, and he's just come on after injury. Look at the excitement, look at the love for the coaching staff. Brilliant, brilliant from Hartford that they've kept themselves in this match, and now they're 1-0 up under new coach Ray Reid, and the energy between the players. But look at this ball from Barrera. We've said we need more from him. It's a fantastic ball to Martinez. He chests it off to Rashawn Daly, gets it back, sticks it in the back of the net. That's a lovely move from midfield, up front, lay off, get it back. A touch of class there from Ariel Martinez. And now they are 1-0 up under their new coach. Is this a new beginning for Hartford Athletic?
Well, you saw the hug there. Ariel Martinez, who of course, he made his first appearance since April 30th on Saturday, went right up to one of the team physicians, either Jake Kimmel or Jeff Brown. I'm sure helping him get back on the field and showing his appreciation for that as well. Really cool moment there for Ariel Martinez as he gets on the score sheet, and maybe Hartford looking for more. Dolly, as this is blocked down, Martinez was in space.
Martinez at the far post was in acres of space. If it had been the same combination, it would have been 2-0. I know Rashawn Daly could see the near post run, but the back stick all on his own. Martinez. What a return that would have been. 2 goals in 2 minutes. But nonetheless, they've got the breakthrough.
So here's the hug. It was either with, and I apologize for not knowing the names, either Mike Diaz, Jake Kimmel, or Jeff Brown. Mike Diaz, the athletic trainer, the team physicians, Jake Kimmel and Jeff Brown. Really cool moment there for Ariel Martinez and the coaching and training staff.
He's such a good player, Ariel Martinez. 36 years of age now, the Cuban, but you can see what a great touch he had to lay that off in the first place and then to finish it.
Now it's Haji Berry as Colorado Springs looking for a response. Haji Berry, Mahoney, Haji Berry. It's Mishi Galina, put it in a good area. Nobody could get on the end of it. Now it's Malik Johnson. This could be non-stop pressure from the Switchbacks.
Yeah, Ray Reid's got one half of what he wanted from this team. He's got them to break down the Colorado Switchbacks, Spring Switchbacks defense. Now the second half is, can you hold on to it? Can you defend the lead against this incredibly talented attacking side? Well, they've got 15 minutes to tell us if they can or can't.
Martinez slow to get back to his feet. The Performance Lab is an all-inclusive model that brings the latest technologies for pain relief, wellness, and mobility together under one roof. With one-on-one treatments and a customized approach to fit your needs, the Performance Lab will get you moving and feeling your best. Mishi Galina running in behind. Cross comes in. Odell able to bobble and then hold on to it. Haji Berry with the shot.
Mishi Galina again. Unbelievable pace. And once he gets past you, you can't bring him down. You run the risk of yellow, possibly even a red card. And as he gets near the box, even less tackles can be made. It's come to Berry. I don't know if it's skipped up on him, but he hasn't got much pace behind that. Thought Haji Berry could have done better, but again, it's just a creation from Mishi Galina that is just top class.
Here's Elvis Amo. Just out of the reach. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Connecticut's own Ripe Bar Juice, the official cocktail mixer of Hartford Athletic.
Asher Pollen had just come on. He had seen Joel Johnson hurt himself trying to catch Mishi Galina, and he's had to deal with that as well, Asher Pollen. So he will know the pace of Mishi, and he'll know that he has to back off a couple of yards and not allow this man to get a yard on him, because you're not going to catch him.
Eventually the whistle comes as Dolly was being wrestled down, and the yellow card will go to Jimmy Ockford. Now all 3 center backs for Colorado Springs in the book.
Jimmy Oakford had to be careful there, because not only was he getting a yellow card, he was in the face of the referee shouting. I know he's frustrated, but got to take your frustrations out. You see, there's a bit of a hold on his shirt as well, and I can understand why Oakford's upset, but don't put your face in the referee's face. That's a big risk. And kick the ball away as well. Rather, what we used to say was, rather turn on one of your teammates and scream and shout at them, because they
can take it.
They can take it, and they know that you're offloading at them rather than the officials.
Lynn stands over this set piece. It's square for Apollon, curling this in, close to goal, and this headed in. It's Andre Lewis. He scores against his former club. A sumptuous ball in from Ash Apollon, and Hartford leads 2-0.
That's a brilliant cross from Ash Apollon, whipped in with pace. Andre Lewis getting ahead of markers and heading it in at the near post. Nothing better than scoring against your former team, and that's exactly what he's done. Plus, he's probably sewn this match up for Hartford under new coach Ray Reid. What a result this would be. But the cross that comes in, look at the whip from Ash Apollon, and the position, he puts it right in there. It's a jump, athletic jump from Andre Lewis, and he's got to twist his head a little bit, but the quality of the ball, and goalkeeper just cannot get there, Christian Herrera. And it's a brave one, because he takes a knock on the head, but he doesn't care. He's got the second goal for Hartford Athletic.
Well, Ray Reid has pushed all the right buttons tonight. Of course, Ariel Martinez scoring the first goal for Hartford, and then 2 substitutes, or 1 substitute connects with a starter there. Regardless, all of those subs have made a big impact tonight for Hartford. And I think Ray Reid has learned a lot about his team over at least these 80 minutes. We'll see if they can close it out now.
Now, he said to us that he believes there's the talent and the ability here, and judging by what we've seen so far, absolutely. I guess the question, it's a risky pullback. The question is for Colorado Springs, did they make too many changes? We said it was risky, 7 changes, but given the number of games they've got, they probably felt this now was the time to rotate the squad. Well, it's easy after the event, but it looks like they might have rotated just a little bit too much. And if they leave here without any points, well, they will only be 1 point off the top. So it's not the end of the world for Brendan Burke and company, but it's the difficulties of having so many games in such a few days. Is what is the right number of players to rotate?
There's Apollon again. Cross into the back post, and that must have gone out of play. And it did. It'll be a goal kick. Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partners, Stanley Black & Decker. Stay tuned each week for the Stanley Innovative Play of the Game.
I think you can pick either of the goals. Just for starters, as wonderful plays, especially the first one, knocked in from midfield. Barrera, for the first time, he was really getting forward, knocking those dangerous balls. Maybe it's the combination between him and Ariel Martinez, the experience they have, but he picks out Martinez, who chests it to Daly, gets it back of the net. What a good move that was. And of course, as we've seen, the cross for the second from Ash Apollon, top class, and the finish, the header from Andre Lewis. So all in all, top brilliant play from Hartford. And let's go back and give Yannick Otel some credit as well for a crucial save when it was, I think, 0-0. Was it 1-0 or 0-0? 0-0. You know, if the keeper doesn't make those saves, then you're behind, and maybe you don't get on the front foot as much. So well done, the keeper.
Galena slides it in. Mahoney cuts it back. Nearly a response there for Colorado Springs. Don't forget, coming up tonight, still 1 more game in the USL Championship. San Antonio and FC Tulsa on ESPN2. They get started in about 15 minutes time. You won't want to miss it. This one setting the stage for that one.
Well, I guess San Antonio watching this will be thinking, okay, well, if Colorado Springs have lost this, not only are we ahead and now equal number of games played, but they can stretch that 1 point gap to 4 points, put themselves clear at the top of the Western Division of the USL.
There's Dolly. His sister on the first goal. Lewis, the scorer of the second.
With the confidence here now, Hartford 2-0 up, knocking the ball around, chests out. That's where they've wanted to be all season, and for whatever reason it couldn't happen under Harry Watling. But it certainly seems to be happening under Ray Reid. And you spoke about his success at college. Incredible success he's had. Well, he's bringing it here now by the looks of it.
Lewis is offside. And today, just the 5th time that Colorado Springs have conceded the first goal, 1 in 3 previous this season. This is not a team that plays from behind all that often. They won their first 4 league games against Orange County, Monterey Bay, Birmingham, and Miami without trailing. Brennan Burke was the coach of the month. His team got off to a great start. And they've lost a couple of games, but after each loss, they followed it up with a 3-game winning streak. It's going to take a lot tonight to keep that track going after losing on Friday. But here's a Mo. They'll fight till the end. Colorado Springs. Nishi Galina. Mahoney. Galina. So many blue shirts back behind the ball defending. Galina, his cross deflecting out of play.
I think this is only the second match this season that they've been 2 goals behind. They were 2 goals behind against Monterey Bay, but nobody else that I can see have they ever been 2 goals behind. So credit Hartford Athletic and Ray Reid bringing this new energy.
Trying the bicycle kick. This may have taken a deflection out. The referee says just goal kick. Had 2 attempts at a bicycle kick tonight. Alba Samo, the latest.
Look at this going up. This can also be dangerous play. You can see Luca Purpose going in there with his head. At the end of the day, I think there's more chance of you getting a free kick for dangerous play than there is for anything else. Certainly, if you're experienced enough, you just grab your head anyway. That's what most players do in that situation when they see the overhead kick coming. They grab their head, hit the ground, and assume the referee will realize it's dangerous play and blow his whistle or her whistle.
Lofted forward, Lewis making the run, and this cut out. Hartford Athletic is proud to team up with Stop and Shop in all of our community efforts as we work together year-round in the fight against food insecurity.
Well, if anybody's looking at the score going, I bet Hartford were lucky tonight, let me give you the XG. It's 1.54, so it's fairly close to 2. And it's 1.11 for Colorado, which is close to 1. So 2-1 would seem to be a fairer score. But either way, according to XG, chances created, they deserve to be where they are, Hartford. And that is the most important thing. A lucky win, they'll take it, but it doesn't give you confidence. A well-deserved win against a team that's been top in the West for so long, that is what you need.
Touched along, it's Perpa coming in, and he was offside. But going back to the point you've made, and Ray Reid pointed out to us when we talked to him this morning, that this team has talent. There's talent there. It's just they weren't quite living up to the expectations, and a win against this Colorado Springs side, and that should not be taken lightly across the league.
And we said if they won this, could they go on a winning run? Yes, they have Detroit City away next match, but Detroit have been going through a rough patch. They have Tampa Bay at home. Well, that's a tricky one. Charleston, they've been blowing hot and cold all season.
As Alba Samo runs forward, Amo hesitated for a moment, and that did him in.
Because you wonder, Detroit away, if they can just win that, and listen to what Ray Reid says and say, take every game as it comes, they go and get another 3 points. And suddenly you're looking at them on 18 points, level with where Tulsa are now, and only 3 points behind the current playoff line. Well, that's a different story. Suddenly you're right in with a shout. So Can Ray Reid do something that Oakland Roots did last year? Oakland Roots were absolutely brilliant. They were further behind at this stage.
They
Oakland
were
Roots.
15 points
Wow.
out. There were 9 points Hartford coming into tonight. It's touched along. And cleared away. Well, should they hold on to win this game, Hartford only have 1 loss in their last 4, and includes 2 wins and a draw. All those games after the 3-0 loss against San Diego Loyal. Here's Haji Berry. So might that San Diego Loyal loss, 3-0 away, maybe prove to be a turning point this season for them. They come back, they get a hard-earned draw against Memphis. They go on the road and beat Atlanta United 2 by 3 goals to 0. Put up a tough fight against Lou City, just didn't come out with the result there. And here tonight, this would be a very, very good result for Hartford.
It certainly would. It does seem to be that the impact of Ray Reid since he arrived is what started that. I don't know what role he had from the very beginning, but he was in charge against Memphis when they got the draw at home. Maybe the players just felt that there was a different approach to coaching. And it's nothing against Harry Watling, who's got a fantastic track record with younger players, but maybe at this level, the senior players, it just didn't quite work out for him. But Ray Reid brings all the gravitas of success in the past and experience, and someone who's been there and done that. And maybe that's just what this team needed.
On the other side for Brendan Burke, a long trip out here on a short week. They'll have another long trip back to Colorado before a tough match with Sacramento Republic. And then they'll turn around 2 days later and play a San Diego Loyal team that you can see 9 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN2 on the 4th of July. Don't want to miss it. There are very tough matchups coming up for Colorado Springs as we get into 5 minutes of Brynjol Vineyard stoppage time. It's going to be interesting to see what this Colorado Springs team is made of through this very tough stretch. It won't define them. They put themselves in a good position, but I guess can they keep this sort of level throughout this tough stretch? As Galena comes in, be a chance here for Colorado Springs. Barry was blocked down. Galena has touchdown of play.
Good defending from Hartford. Bodies on the line, self-belief all round. But you're right, I mean, it's 2 losses back-to-back now for Switchbacks. They go to Sac Republic away. That could very easily be 3, and then does confidence start to shift? But I think they're just too good. They're just such a fantastic setup. That front 3 is going to decimate most defenses. So
sent in for a Mo. The header's down. Andre Lewis can get it away. 4 minutes to go.
I don't think there's any concern about this team not making the playoffs or anything. They should get a home match, and I still think they'll be one of the favorites to go in and win it. But when you've had 2 losses, it can start to sort of shift confidence a little bit. And the last place you want to go is Sacramento Republic away at the moment, given how they're playing. So, yeah, very tough road game to come for Brendan Burke, and another test for his side. But you know, he can bring back Zach Zandy, he can bring back Lindley, players who have been absolutely fantastic this season.
Flag is up for offside. Yeah, of course, missing Cam Lindley. I feel like we haven't talked about that enough. He is the league leader in chances created in the USL Championship, so obviously missing a key part tonight with Lindley not in the 11 or the 18.
This is also bad news for a number of other teams in and around Hartford. For FC Tulsa, and they've now got Hartford a lot closer to them than they'd like. Indy 11 will be looking over their shoulder, so too will Miami FC. So it really has thrown a cat amongst the pigeons, as they say.
A what?
Cat amongst the
I'm kidding.
You do know that one.
I do. I've heard that one.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yep.
That's very English. I get you.
Okay.
But
here's a Mo. Brewitt has not been afraid to get stuck in tonight. Haji Berry. Mishi Galina. Galina went for power. Yannick Odell trying to keep that in play, but it is out for a corner.
Still great defending. Players at the back for Hartford throwing their body on the line. This is what the coach has asked for. He's got what he wanted from them in attack. Now he's getting what he wants from them in defense.
Quick corner taken. Might there be a third goal in this game for Hartford Athletic as they race back the other way. Ariel Martinez surveying and switching the point of attack. Here's Andre Lewis. Lewis will have a hit. Well, he scored 2 goals last year for Colorado Springs against Hartford. I guess he was trying for the reverse brace, if you will, as Peter Lee Vasso will come on to replace Luca Perpa. Solid game in the center of the park for Perpa. Another 4G recycling substitution, the last one of the night for Hartford Athletic.
He did well, Luca Perpa, worked hard. But for me, the key in the midfield there has been Danny Barrera. His fantastic ball is what opened things up. The ball to Martinez, and that's the role that he has to play. Luca Perpa can do the hard work around Danny Barrera. Barrera has to get on the ball and dictate the flow of the ball. And even like that, even just one decent ball is what can turn a match. That's the quality of their captain, Danny Barrera.
One is curled in again. Odo will take it and will head to the turf as the final few seconds tick away. Don't forget, still one more game to come up tonight. ESPN2, San Antonio and FC Tulsa. There's this one just about coming to a close. There's the final whistle. Hartford Athletic back on the winning track, and Ray Reid, his first professional win as interim head coach for this Hartford Athletic side as they take down one of the top teams in the West in Colorado Springs.
And he's made a difference, Ray Reid. There's no question about that. A draw at home to Memphis when he was in charge, and now this win. Those are the top 2 teams, one in the East, one in the West. And they've got a draw and a victory, and a well-deserved victory at the end here. 2-0. They've kept the clean sheet. That man there helped with the opening goal. Martinez, set up by initially a lovely ball from Barrera, and then the cross from Asher Pollen with Andre Lewis, the former Switchbacks. Fantastic night all round for Ray Reid, and maybe they can start to believe, Hartford Athletic, that they can still make the playoffs.
Some coaching even after the final whistle from Ray Reid, but that is the man right there that made all the difference coming off the bench in Ariel Martinez. We will come back and wrap things up, but it finishes here in Hartford. Hartford Athletic 2, Colorado Springs Switchbacks 0. A victorious night in Hartford, Connecticut. A victorious night here at Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford, Connecticut, as the home side takes down Colorado Springs by 2-0. Ray Reid gets his first win. The next match right here at Trinity Health Stadium, July 9th against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. HartfordAthletic.com for tickets and more information. As we get into our full-time highlights, Hartford, Colorado Springs, second ever matchup. We start in the second half, and chances right away for the home side.
Barrera there putting a wonderful ball in, and it comes off Luca Perpa and just goes wide. Goalkeeper knocks it out. I'm just thinking, Barrera, can you hit it first time? But he just couldn't do it and gets it into Luca Perpa. Plays it wide to Prince Sadie, who knocks it wide of post. You can see Obregon saying, just knock it in towards where I was. It was an easy tap in, and you thought, oh, are they going to pay for this? Because Mishi Galina was just top class, got through here. Well done, the keeper, Yannick Otel. Crucial save. If he doesn't make that save, they're in all sorts of trouble, Hartford, but he comes up trumps and keeps the clean sheet.
Strong left hand there from the youngster in goal. 74th minute, and the moment the game changed, Danny Barrera starts it all.
Yeah, Ariel Martinez with a chest to Rashawn Darley, gets it back, and then straight away, first touch goes in. But as you said, it starts with Barrera seeing Ariel Martinez's run. Martinez chested, get it back, hits it in the back of the net, and suddenly they're on top and looking good. And they just kept it going. Now look at this ball from Asher Pollen, whipped in. Andre Lewis, brave as can be, takes the hit from the goalkeeper. Yeah, Ray Reid says fantastic, and they are 2 up.
Fist pump there from the manager, the crowd loving it, and a beautiful ball and finish there as Hartford Athletic close out a 2-0 win. As we look at the full-time stats, well, there were chances for both sides. The Switchbacks, though, didn't quite have enough in this one.
They didn't get as many shots, but they had opportunities. Balls knocked into the box, especially from Mishi Galina down that right-hand side. They could have done better with. So they weren't at their normal sharp self. If you look at the expected goals, 1.56 to Hartford, 1.20 to Switchbacks. So they weren't much more Hartford, but they took their chances. Switchbacks normally do, and they didn't. And it's a clean sheet for Hartford. It's 2 goals. They've beaten the top side in the West, or what has been the top side in the West. Happy days for Ray Reid and the players and everybody else at Hartford Athletic.
So a big night in Hartford, Connecticut, as Ray Reid steps in as interim manager and gets his first win as head coach. Colorado Springs come all the way out east, and they will go home with no goals for a second straight match. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Hartford. It finishes Hartford Athletic 2, Switchbacks 0. The USL on ESPN continues now, but good night from Hartford.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.